corporate media is a joke, okay? I mean, it's an institution that's going belly up, and I covered on the show on Friday that Comcast is looking to separate BSD&C, I mean MSNBC, from their main brand because it's not bringing in the views. Now, to be clear here, in 2016, when Trump got elected in office, oh boy, CNN, MSNBC, oh, they were bringing in the bucks. You would think that they would be on board secretly for Trump to win in 2020, but that golden goose, that cash cow, once Trump was gone, came a huge decline. CNN's embarrassing CNN Plus, $250 million. Boom, gone 1 month. And now, after Trump got reelected, something strange happened. People aren't tuning in to corporate media as much as they used to. It's a dying brand. It's funny to me because perhaps maybe we could very well witness, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but maybe in a couple of few years, maybe, and I'm saying maybe, the full-on collapse and destruction of all establishment media, to which we should applaud, because corporate media has been one of the key corner institutions that have been breaking and dividing Americans. But yet Elon Musk made a joke about buying MSNBC with a risque meme temptation. I think we all about to know the temptation meme, just a little bit, It seems to have triggered a couple of people. He wants, oh no, Elon Musk wants to take the company private, very, very private. Space and electric car tycoon Elon Musk shared a brawny meme on his X platform that joked about tapping into his deep pockets to purchase MSNBC, following bombshell news that Comcast planned to spin off the lefty cable network. Please stop calling MSNBC left. It is a corporatist media outlet. And lead us down to temptation, Musk wrote, 53, on his X post, accompanied by a meme showing what appears to be a priest struggling to remain pure next to a woman exposing herself. Yes. Elon Musk not trying to buy. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. I can relate. Please. Please, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I have to say, no, Elon, don't buy MSNBC. Let it die. Let it die on the vine. Let it die on the vine. But yet, the liberal panic, the response to it is, oh, no, we need to keep MSNBC. Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, buy MSNBC. Yes, these very same people. These unserious, uneducated. Yes, I'm going to call them uneducated. I don't care if they got degrees or they're from higher academia. Corporate media is propaganda. Corporate media isn't there to tell you the truth. Corporate media isn't there to inform or empower you. And if Elon Musk were to buy MSNBC, nothing would fundamentally change. I mean, there might be some things different here and there, but it's dying. It's dying. Corporate media is dying. Let it die. Let it die. Let it die. It's been a cancer in our society for far too long. And boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, Gen Z, and yes, even you, Gen Alpha, somewhere soon to coming into your own space as well, have been poisoned by it. And we have to look at the poison. We have to look at the people who are not serious, who aren't serious, who never were serious in the first place. And you know what, case in point, let's bring it up for the biggest person of them all, who is a full-on example of being an unserious individual. You know her, you love her. It's Rachel Maddow, because Rachel Maddow made a huge financial killing with Trump being in office in 2016. I mean, after all of her episodes were about how the walls were closing in on Trump. Yeah, well, Trump managed to survive that mousetrap. But if you want to see stupidity and you want to know why people are melting down liberals who are clearly unhinged on TikTok, this is one of the avatars that's causing these meltdowns and causing people to panic with all this insane propaganda.
Be mass deportations. It will be millions of people in camps managed by the U.S. military. I expect it will be military raids in civilian areas to try to take on this extreme anti-immigrant agenda, which I think he means every word of. I think that it's the end of American participation in NATO in any meaningful sense. I think it's really, really bad news for Ukraine. I think ultimately it's bad news for Taiwan. I think that it is a big, big leap toward the multipolar world that Vladimir Putin has been dreaming of and preaching for a long time. And I think internally in the United States, they will start arresting their enemies and bringing bogus prosecutions and Justice Department civil lawsuits against everybody who disagrees with them. I think all of that's going to happen.
Oh my God, you're anticipating the end of America.
Oh my God, you're anticipating the end of America because people know it. Oh no, tell us more, Rachel.
People know it.
Yes, of course. Oh my goodness gracious, Cretaceous. It's the end of America. And Rachel Maddow, foaming at the mouth. Trump, Trump. And MSNBC, you're wondering why people don't watch you anymore. You're wondering why everyone's laughing at you. You're wondering why you're not respected. And there are many reasons why you're not respected. And of course, you have people who used to be associated with MSNBC also panicking because the full-on panic of these unserious people is on full display. Hey, Olbermann, yell at us in your fancy apartment in New York City.
On the Monday Countdown podcast, could Elon Musk actually buy MSNBC and turn it into a Trump propaganda network? Is it just another drug-fueled joke?
Yes, please let it just be a joke. Okay. Even then, I'm not going to care because I want corporate media to die. But if he wants to buy something that's toxic and a lemon, hey, whatever. But let it die. Olbermann, are you trying to get your job back? They don't have the money to pay you. Rachel Maddow had to take a pay cut. $5 million. She went from 30 to 25. Why are they paying her $25 million? Hell, $30 million was high. $25 million is too high. MSNBC, you're saying it. Never forget, I did a segment where Rachel Maddow is a ratings Viagra. Are you sure about that? Are you sure you want to compare her to that? Because she ain't boosting up anything or getting anything hard. No pun intended.
Or could Musk be serious? Could NBC Comcast be serious about selling? We're not even sure they're interested in selling. The question perhaps is not whether or not Musk would do it. What did he do with Twitter? What did Warner Bros. Discovery do with CNN? The question is, if he wanted to do it, who could stop him? To understand why it could happen, I'll tell you the whole story of the perpetual, perennial, permanent tension between
That's a lot of peas. That's a lot of peas there, Olbermann.
NBC News and MSNBC that only began the other day in 1995.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Smug SOB. But let's go. Let's get a little serious here, okay? Because I got another meltdown that's just as perfect, where you got somebody begging establishment billionaires. Oh no, please, with a cherry on top. Buy corporate media. Buy it, please. Oprah, do it. The Oprah, the Bill Gates, the everybody, buy it. Sorry about that, folks. I thought I had the video up. My apologies. Oops, hold on. Oh my goodness, it is not cooperating. I have to carry the L on that one.
Well, will US cable news networks sink or swim now that the Trump red wave has swept the country past in this election? Tech billionaire Elon Musk is taunting MSNBC by teasing to perhaps purchase the once popular channel.
Hey, Elon Musk, I have the funniest idea ever.
It is kind of funny.
How much does it cost?
If you buy MSNBC, I would like Rachel Maddow's job. I will wear the same outfit and glasses, and I will tell the same lies.
Well, things started going downhill for the left-leaning MSNBC.
Stop calling it left. You know what? Stop it. It's a corporatist neoliberal institution. Nothing left about them. Stop it. You're misidentifying it.
After US presidential election ended in a decisive Trump victory, the network's parent company Comcast has announced plans to spin off its media subsidiaries into separate holdings. This is after the ratings reportedly plummet following those election results. Now, one of the channel's star anchors is Rachel Maddow, and she has been zeroing in on Musk alleging that he has conspired to threaten US security and that he has secret ties to the Russian president.
Oh, it's Russia. The Russians. The Russians. The Russians are coming. Oh no, everybody. Duck down. Duck down. Oh no. Oh no. Duck down. It's Russia. Russia's over there. Russia's over here. Russia's somewhere there. Everybody, I don't want to alarm you, but Russia is in front of your house right now.
You really can't have the head of a company that is the primary rocket launcher in secret communications with America's worst enemy, while Musk is in direct and secret communication with Vladimir Putin. Also turning his own social media company, Twitter, into an all-Trump, all-the-time conspiracy theory and propaganda machine that eagerly amplifies even the most obviously foreign disinformation, boosting Trump and targeting his Democratic opponents.
Ugh. By the way, first of all, Topher 1010, I can see Maddow doing Blue Chew commercials. Ugh. Please, please, please. All right. There's already a fertility crisis. Okay. We don't need Maddow to pour more gasoline on that fire. Okay. All right. You see Maddow doing any of that stuff for fertility or anything else. It's already done for. It's already done for, my lovelies. But here you have more people melting down. More unserious people, like stuff that you see on TikTok. And you know, I got such a great audience. I mean, I got a couple of soldiers right now, and I have binders now. Binders of liberal meltdowns, which I'm going to save for when Trump gets into office, okay? I'm not going to do any more. I'm going to save those till January because I feel it's only just going to add more chaos, okay? But stuff like this is why I'm encouraging to let MSNBC and CNN die. Let them die. Let them die. To quote Captain Kirk about the Klingons, let them die. Let them die. Let MSNBC die.
I don't think the majority of people on the left actually understand how important MSNBC is. Comcast is...
Hold on. I'm going to have democracy in the chat. Do you view MSNBC being important to our political sphere? Type 1 for yes, Kit. It is a serious institution that must be respected and be maintained. Type 2, no. Burn it. Burn it. Burn it. Burn all down. Burn all down. Burn all down and burn all down. I wonder how many 2s will be in the chat. I'm not saying the correct choice is 2, but the correct choice is 2.
Supposedly putting MSNBC up for sale, and Musk implied he might want to buy it. And Joe Rogan said if he buys it, he'll be on the network. This is all hypothetical for now, but so was Twitter. A lot of people think, oh, we can do without a network, but you're thinking of you. You're thinking of Gen Z. You're thinking of millennials. You're thinking of some Gen X. Progressives that are baby boomers and from the silent generation, they almost exclusively get their news from MSNBC because they just don't understand how to use the social media platforms. And no, you're not going to be able to teach most of them. If MSNBC becomes a...
Lady, don't listen. One thing I've learned, never underestimate people. You know, I mean, I've seen a lot of, boomers handle a computer quite well. Gen Xers handle a computer quite well. Everybody, right? Okay, so listen. Maybe people don't like being lied to, especially even old people, okay? All right? R.I.P. to my grandpa, my Uncle Bernie. But even they knew that the media was lying to them. I mean, my goodness. My house was very lively when you heard those 2 old men yelling at the TV. Calling the anchors liars and full of crap, okay? So trust me on it. People know. You want who doesn't know? Liberal TikTok people.
NBC because they just don't understand how to use the social media platforms. And no, you're not going to be able to teach most of them. If MSNBC becomes a conservative network, those people are going to keep watching. And we know how this pipeline works. At first, they're going to say, it's okay, I can tell what isn't true. And then soon enough, they can't. People who listen to right-wing talk radio and watch Fox News were different before doing so. No one is immune to this kind of pipeline.
Topher 1010, get up and go see the White House counselor right now. Go. I'm not even going to repeat what you wrote there. Shame on you, you awful, awful man.
sure, we could create another network, but MSNBC has the name recognition already.
Topher, quit talking about that booger sugar. Shame on my Kick audience. Where did they learn to talk like this?
Many people will just stay with MSNBC because it has the name recognition. And I think this thread is right. It has to be bought by someone like Mark Cuban, Dolly Parton, Oprah, Melinda Gates, maybe even Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. Yeah, there are things that aren't great about MSNBC, but if we lose it, we are in deep trouble. We have to save what we have and then make it better. Not hand the reins over to Musk and let him do to it what he did to Twitter. I no longer think anything that comes out of Musk's mouth is a joke. It is a plan. Are we going to let him implement it?
Are we going to stop Elon Musk because he's a bad man? Well, you know what? MSNBC, you're doing this to yourselves. So many Democrats and liberals are holding on to MSNBC as though it's gold. It is a shit network. Crap. It's pure crap. So let's go ahead and pull up this here because I played this video before. All right. The chances of Elon buying it. I think you should let it die. And let's face it here. Hold on. I'm looking at my audience right now. Interaction, 60 votes now. 98% saying should MSNBC go broke and bankrupt. 98% say yes. 2% say no.
Elon Musk bought X and turned it into the social media arm of the MAGA movement. And we all sat there right in the middle of it during the campaign, possibly not realizing that we're sitting there like fat chickens, just getting attacked all day and just being part of this MAGA messaging. However, the election's over. Everybody's getting smarter and better. I'm not sure that the right idea is to leave Twitter and just go to Blue Sky, a friendlier place, because then we remain in our echo chambers. I don't think that you should necessarily stay in Twitter every day and battle it out and let yourself doom scroll of all the hate coming at you. But I want to see it. I want to read what's happening there, right? And so I think at least staying in those spaces is important because I want to hear the other things.
Eddie,
Elon Musk bought.
Now, again, you have people projecting, you have people panicking, you have unserious people having full-blown meltdowns because of what happened during this election cycle. But then again, too, you see these same people in corporate media project their fears to an audience that is easily tricked. And one of my fears is that many of these people who are having these liberal TikTok meltdowns, and I actually saw one happen in real time at O'Hare Airport, okay, as I was picking up my family members. And on the one hand, I laughed. I laughed. Now, I kept it quiet. I didn't want to cause a scene or add more, but I was laughing in my brain. But then I stopped for a while and I realized, oh, dear Lord, a person like that could be behind a vehicle and do something very stupid because they're listening to these people at BSDNC project these fears of, oh, no, here come political police. Everybody's favorite political commissar. Give it up for Commissar Hans. Everybody fall in line. You'll eat the bugs, and you'll be arrested under the new administration. And here's my deputy Fritz. He will help you file your paperwork. Get out your papers. But yet, this is where we're at because they're thinking that there's going to be some sort of quasi Handmaid's Tale 4 years of Trump, where there's going to be 1980. Like we're already living in 1984. We're already living in Brave New World. We're already living in Fahrenheit 451. Okay, maybe not to the high numbers that it's at, as it's seen in the books. But look, we're ever tiptoeing there closer to it. So who helped open down that door? Oh, yeah, Democratic politicians and Republican politicians. Yet MSNBC is going to say, oh, no, Trump's going to do this and Trump's going to do that. And you've got a susceptible audience of very easy triggered, mentally unhinged people thinking that this is the end of America because MSNBC is feeling that fire. Now, yes, to be clear here, even Fox News has had a treasure trove of times doing that as well, which is why all corporate media should go bankrupt, why all corporate media should go away and destroy the legacy of the Telecoms Act that was ushered in by first name Bill, last name Clinton.
Planning to do. I mean, one of the things that Russ Vought is advocating for is the elimination of all the post-Watergate norms in order to weaponize the DOJ. And he also is somebody that's advocating for deploying the military against U.S. citizens in order to quench dissent or protests. So when you have a guy like John McEntee and that database, part of the pre-vetting isn't just, oh, they check off all the boxes in terms of like their professional skills. It's also that, oh, they're sufficiently loyal that they will allow us to do all these things that otherwise would be illegal or not allowed to be done.
And the thing is, you can't say that enough. And I want you to say more about that, because you're talking about deploying the U.S. military. Remember, Mark Esper, who was Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense.
They're going to talk about how the U.S. military. So in other words, hey, you watching at home right now or driving to work, you might get a knock at the door. Political police. Commissariat Hans opens the door. Give you your papers. How did you vote? Where's the bugs in your refrigerator? You know, I mean, come on. Let's be clear here. That's not going to happen. This is a fantasy. This is a dangerous fantasy that many liberals want to believe that they're part of. Because I remember seeing the parades, and I'm not going to call them protests anymore. The parades from 2016 to 2020 against Donald Trump here in Chicago. You know what they do? They do their little parade formation somewhere in downtown Chicago, and then they do a little parade march all the way to Trump Tower, acting and saying, in the name of humanity, we are the resistance. We will fight against Trump's fascist policies. Well, where are you against the neoliberal Democrats? Where are you against them? Because a lot of those people, and I'm talking to them directly, y'all talk the big game, especially with Roe v. Wade. Hey, pink pussy hat people. Well, Zoink Scoob, where are they? I don't know, Raggy. I don't see any of you out there. You said you said you'd be doing a whole fest protests every day, all the time, if something happened to Roe v. Wade. And that was in 2020. Where are y'all at now? Oh, that's right, eating brunch. Or is it at you're done eating brunch and you found your marching shoes again to protest Trump? Morons.
For a while, told him, no, you cannot shoot American citizens. You can't have the military shoot American citizens. He's going to replace people in the Department of Defense with people who will say you can, and that you can deploy the military against protesters, that you can arrest journalists for reporting things that Donald Trump doesn't like, that sort of thing, right?
That is exactly right. One of the things that Roosevelt did after he sort of left the administration in this sort of interregnum period that he's had, and has been referenced with that 180-day agenda, is that they have been building out the legal documentation, what they consider to be the legal documentation, to justify internally the deployment of the military. I know it sounds hysterical. How can we possibly, this sounds so outrageous. No, this is part of the plan. Like that they literally wrote a plan down and then prepared all the supporting documentation so they could check off that box. And then this is where the personnel piece comes in. They're making sure they have the right people to implement it. Roosevelt gave a speech where he talked about the fact that he was
proof. Where's your evidence? Evidence. How is this any different than the censorship wave that myself and many of my colleagues in independent media have dealt with, all right? All these corporate media jagoffs are saying, oh, no, we're going to lose everything. They're going to come to my house. No, you are millionaires. You guys are part of high society. You live in the same ivory towers, and no one's knocking at your door. You want to know who's really suffering? A lot of independent journalists and whistleblowers and activists who actually, did the thing and try and inform the American people about corruption, abuse of power. I mean, I could talk about really the wave of censorship hitting us hard during the Biden-Harris years. And that's what happened. That's what happened. I am still getting messages now about people saying, hey, I'm not being notified when Hardlands Media goes live. Hey, I was unsubscribed. Hey, this happened. I can't post these comments on your channel and I'm supporting you guys. Or, hey, you guys are disappearing off my feed. And this has not only happened to Hardlands Media, INN can tell you stories. RBN can tell you stories. Everybody. And it's not only the independent media that's been dealing with censorship. A lot of people covering different types of genres on YouTube have dealt with it. Even on Twitter, now X, Facebook, etc., Instagram, all of it. And yes, things were a little bit dicey under Trump during the first 4 years. But I will say this. As soon as Biden got into office, that number was pushed up to 11. That's what happened. This isn't open for a debate. This isn't open for a conversation. This happened to us. But yet you have corporate media fantasizing of, oh no, we're going to get arrested. People are going to get rounded up. America's going to get rounded up. How? Why? You're just projecting fear. You're not giving even decent opinions. You're projecting fear. which is once again adding evidence why we actually need Medicare for all and why we actually need to invest into mental health, because you got a lot of dumb people out there taking this as the gospel.
Planning on doing this, or at least to have the resources ready so that if there was sufficient blowback, they could deploy it. And I just want to put a bow on it to note that one of the through lines here is why they want to sort of, it's not just revenge against their political opponents. That obviously gets a lot of fear. But the part that always stands out to me is that the rationale for why they need to do all these things is to end multiculturalism in America. That's not my.
Oh my God. Sorry, we're going to rewind that again, but no. I think a lot of people in corporate media are forgetting that it wasn't just straight white males supporting Donald Trump. Trump had a lot of diversity supporting him. He had a whole rainbow, all generations, and different faiths supporting him. All right? Not lines and waves of people, but hey, a good chunk. Voting blocks that traditionally voted Democrat just gave a FU to the Democrats and went to Republican. That's what happened. And if that offends any liberals, well, hey, it's not my fault that the Democrats are being called out for the hypocrites that they are. I mean, already in Chicago, there's signs things are changing. I'm very curious to see how the city election turns out, and I hope I'm not disappointed, but perhaps I'm projecting too much hope. Hope in one hand, crap in the other. See what fills up faster. But hold on, dude. Hey, genius with your terrible decorations in your living room. God, that's god awful. Just notice that. Ugh. Tell us again how Trump's going to end multiculturalism.
God gave a speech where he talked about the fact that he was planning on doing this, or at least to have the resources ready so that if there was sufficient blowback, they could deploy it. And I just want to put a bow on it to note that one of the through lines here is why they want to sort of, it's not just revenge against their political opponents. That obviously gets a lot of fear. But the part that always stands out to me is that the rationale for why they need to do all these things is to end multiculturalism in America. That's not my term. Mm-hmm. That's what Ross Vogt said. That the reason why you go after immigrants first, that you start to implement all of these big radical changes, is that this is the beginning of the end of multiculturalism in America.
And what is the opposite of multiculturalism?
Planning to.
Yeah, dummy can't even speak because he's a moron. What's the end? What's the difference in multiculturalism? Well, you know what? Here's the solid fact. MSNBC going broke. I embrace it. I don't want to see it saved. I don't want to see anybody buy it, even if it's a joke. But then again, there are some wonderful super chats here that I am seeing here. First of all, Barbara Winning. Oh, Barbara Winning. Barbara Winning. Sorry about that. Barbara Winning. You know what? You're winning all the time, every time, as you should. Elon should buy MSNBC, change the name, and give Hard Lens Media, Jimmy Dore Show, Joe Rogan Experience their own hour-long news show on a network supported by independent media and journalists. Well, it would be funny if that happened. It would be an interesting scenario, but do I see something like that happening? In maybe an alternate dimension, perhaps. It would be nice. It would be kind of interesting to see. I would, maybe reaching out to more people, giving FU to all the people who were celebrating so many people in independent media being censored. But here's the thing. Going to corporate media isn't independent media. What we're building here is true independent media. All of us. Now, I know right now we're facing off against a huge mountain of censorship and suppression on many platforms. And that's a challenge. But reviving a corporate entity that helped divide America, it is something no one should invest into. All right. I don't trust a corporate entity that's dividing Americans. MSNBC was a contributor, just like CNN, just like Fox News, ABC, CBS. These institutions need to go because they are the legacy of Bill Clinton's Telecom Act. Now, I am laughing at many liberals panicking and crying. I am laughing at people taking a meme that Elon posted to be the fact of gospel, which again should show you that they're not serious people or serious journalists. You have people projecting their fears that somehow, oh no, we're all going to be rounded up. No, we're not going to be rounded up. We're not going to go to camps. We're not going to be made examples of. You know what? The whole world is going to keep going on as it has been all the time. You want to know what's going to happen under Donald Trump? What we saw in the last 4 years. Grow up. And as for corporate media, you want to know why you're going broke? It's because you lost the trust and love of the people. That's where independent media comes in. That's where outlets like Hardlands Media comes in. Because people need to inform and empower themselves because the old institutions that were once trusted were corrupted many decades ago. They need to die off. Mass extinction level event, and I, for one, applaud it. And when they're gone, Hardlands Media is going to be standing atop their corpses, as we should. Let it die on the vine. And MSNBC, when you're gone, I promise I'm going to encourage my audience to say mean things about you.